So we're looking at bad news. We saw this coming yesterday. I told everybody that was watching the live stream last night, don't be shocked if JT gets shut down. And this is what we have this morning. Ian Rappaport reporting that Jonathan Taylor was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. We knew that. And sources say that he'll unlikely return to the field this season. We're going to break that down and more. The Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. I wish I had better news for you this morning, but this news broke a little while ago. Your boy Smitty's been dealing with some of the flu type symptoms still lingering in the Casa de Smitty, so I'm a little late jumping on here, but I wanted to get in here. First in the building, Matthew, Meet the Woo, Nicholas. We knew this was coming. We talked about it last night. Jonathan Taylor most likely not returning to the field this season after re-injuring or suffering a high ankle sprain during Saturday's game against the Vikings. We knew they were shutting him down. This team has nothing to play for anymore. They want to protect their future running back. And when I say that, future running back, we got a lot to talk about in terms of JT and where he's going to be valued walking into 2023. Because he flopped as much as any player could have flopped in 2023. From the start, from the jump, even upon his return, he looked good for a brief moment. Then he returned kind of to pedestrian type numbers. It will be interesting to see where he lingers in early 2023 mock drafts. My guess is that he will not be a first round pick in 2023 mock drafting. My guess is that he will be a player that does go in the second round. My guess is that about 30 or 40%, if I had to guess, this is just a educated guess at this point. My guess is that people, I would say of the tune of 30% maybe, will be avid believers in the value and comeback of Jonathan Taylor and love the value in round two. And there will be a certain percentage, lesser than that, where people just don't even want to go near him. Just don't even want to go near him at all. And then there'll be the leftover percentage, which will probably be the majority of the percentage, of people that will say, I don't want him in round one, but I'll take him in round two. I'll only let him fall so far. My line in the sand is here. And that's understandable. It's understandable. I don't think he's worth a first round pick in 2023. I think his value's protected in round two. I think I would consider strongly drafting him in one or two leagues in round two. I don't know that I'd put all my eggs in one basket with any player, but especially Jonathan Taylor, because of what transpired in 2022 with this organization, with the offense, with the quarterback situation, with the way that this thing unfolded from start to finish. Even right now, things are volatile there. There's no quarterback that can move this offense, get the most out of this offensive line. And so JT's a big risk even in second round value territory. But the question is, at what point does the line in the sand where a player goes from avoid, line in the sand, flip to a value? Where is that line? Is there a big gray area? As we always talk about on the show, there is a gray area. There is a certain percentage of let's see if we can get, I'm going to get the board on here. When we're talking about a player like JT, okay? And I gotta flip this around. I messed with the cameras and now I've got myself this little rotation going. And then let's add me to the scene here. What am I doing here? Man, I hate when I mess with some of the settings, it like jacks up everything that I'm doing. Okay, so if we're talking about round one, round two, round three. Line in the sand. What's the line in the sand, Smitty? Again, it's where a player goes from avoid, and they flip into a value. Very good value right there, right? Okay, where is Jonathan Taylor's line in the sand? It's a very tough question. And the other thing people don't know about the line in the sand, if they're new to this lingo and how we break this down, is when the player turns from avoid to good value, is there a thick gray area where there's a kind of in between? Because it's not always just this defined line in the sand. Sometimes it's a gray area where they're in avoid. Then they go through this either short or long period of picks where they're kind of in a gray area. They're neither avoid or great value. They're kind of in limbo. And I have a feeling Jonathan Taylor's line in the sand is going to be quite tall, quite thick. The weeds will be thick to get through until you get to the absolute extremely good value. I think it's going to be from the top of round 2 into mid round 2, where people don't feel like it's amazing value. It's okay value. I probably will take the risk in that gray area, but it doesn't feel like a steal at 13. Why doesn't it feel like a steal? Because they're just our better players. There's receivers. Even some of the quarterbacks are going to feel more safe. Like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, they'll feel safer than JT unless the Colts make some crazy moves in the offseason and they do some things like bring in a quarterback, support the offensive line, which can't play well if there's no quarterback or moving of the chains. If they don't do what they need to do to support JT and trickle down through the offense, everything's going to just be flat. No moving the chains, no first downs, no goal line opportunities. So there's reason to panic when it comes to JT. Punch the thumb up button on your way in the door. There's reason to panic. That news broke. Deion, do you take Deion Jackson? Is it Zach Moss? We don't really even know who the backup is right now. I would say Deion Jackson's probably the guy you want to pick up, but Zach Moss was used as well. And Zach Moss was more of the change of pace guy, it seemed, and then other times it didn't. We don't know. It could be both of them. My guess is that, and think about this. In your league, how many people are out of it? At least 4, 5, 6 teams feel are done, right? You know, whatever, depending on how big your playoffs is. When your playoffs start, everybody's playoffs are so weird. Some people are in the final round of their playoffs. Some people just begin their playoffs this coming week. Everybody should be on the same page. This should be round number 2 coming up in week number 16, but everybody plays differently. But it's possible because so many teams are out of it that fighting for both backups won't be a big deal. Put your claim in for Deion Jackson first because he's most likely the first backup, right? The first guy you think of. And Zach Moss probably won't be claimed unless your league plays for some kind of consolation prize and people are still picking up all kinds of players. My advice is to go pick up Deion Jackson. Put in a second claim for Zach Moss. Grab both of them and have that option. If you even have to resort to that, hopefully you don't. Hopefully you have running backs like McKinnon, or you have somebody else on your roster you can plug in. A Cordero Patterson potentially even might be better than a Deion Jackson. Because when you really think about it at the end of the day, are you going to win your league starting Deion Jackson? JT couldn't produce behind this offensive line. JT wasn't good in this offense. What makes anybody think that you're going to get a whole bunch more out of Deion Jackson than you're getting out of JT? The answer is you're probably not going to. So anybody starting Deion Jackson's in trouble. They're playing from behind anyway. So I'm not saying don't grab him. I'm not saying maybe you're stacked at wide receiver and quarterback and tight end in a way that it makes sense that you could start a Deion Jackson and win a championship. There are exceptions to the rule, but I'm saying that if you've got a McKinnon, you've got a potential player that has that kind of upside, you've got maybe you're struggling between Tony Pollard and McKinnon and another player that's better than those guys, and you got to sit one anyway. I'm in a league. If I was to have made it through in the Throne League, we lost Breece Hall. We lost JT twice. We lost Mike Williams. We lost a grip of players. We almost made it through. We made it to the playoffs. We fought back, even losing Breece Hall, even losing Mike Williams, even losing the players we lost in the Throne League. We still fought back, JT, and made the playoffs. And had we won that game, we didn't in the Throne. And we'll be back next year to dominate because we had bad luck with the injuries, and we still did it. We had Tony Pollard. We had guys that stepped up. But had we made it in the Throne League, we could put Pacheco in. We would have been fine. We just needed to get through, but JT didn't give us a chance. And that's the case for a lot of people. There were a lot of people that crapped the bed in week number 15, but there were a lot of people that did well too. A lot of players did really well, and we'll get through the waiver wire stuff. Anybody that picked up McKinnon, who was the number one waiver wire claim for the week going into week 15, this was the waiver wire video that we had on last week, entering week 15. Look at this bad boy right here, McKinnon. Unbelievable. Probably the best pickup of the year in some cases. In retrospect, we gave him about a 9. In retrospect, confidence scale of being the best pickup of the year, 10. 10. He's had 2 30-point games back to back. And he's been on our waiver wire as a top pickup for the week for 2 straight weeks. He was number 1 going into week 15. And if you picked him up and you played him, you probably won your week. So congratulations for anybody that picked him up. Round of applause. Round of applause for Zay Jones. Yes, McKinnon, you absolutely balled. But JT, highly unlikely to be back on the field this season, according to Eaton Rappaport. Let's go to the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. Appreciate you. We got to change this up here. All my settings are just jacked up from what I just did, but that's all right. We'll fix it real quick. Dial into the show. I got to flip this one around. Oh, man. Nope, that's not it. Hey! Your boy Smitty's still very congested too. That's not it. We need to rotate something here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Dial into the show. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
DJ says he's only up 10.4 points. Guy is Christian Watson tonight. Oh, man. I mean, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen. Weather, all of that. You never know. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
It's Charles.
Charles, what's up, my guy?
Hey, I have a question. I'm coming off my bye, and I have, I guess, a rich guy problem. I have 4 running backs, but I can only start 3. I have Eckler. I have Stevenson, McKinnon, and Walker. I got to pick 3 out of those 4, and I don't know which one of the 4 I want to use.
Okay, let me
I got to leave out one.
Eckler, Stevenson, and who?
Stevenson, McKinnon, and Walker.
And you got to choose 2.
I got to choose 3 out of those 4.
Okay, 3. Okay.
I don't know which one to leave out.
Yeah, so we'll see how Eckler's feeling today. He got banged up in that game. He left. He came back. He left. So let's keep an eye on that. I think McKinnon's a must start at this point. I mean, McKinnon. I'm not saying Eckler's not a must start. Eckler's of course he's a must start if he's healthy. So I would definitely say these 2 right now. I think we play it by ear. I think Stevenson's probably earned the start potentially at this point, but let's play it by ear. Let's walk in. Let's see how Stevenson's ankle's doing, how he's faring. Let's see how Walker's doing with his ankle. Let's see how Eckler's doing with his injuries. And really McKinnon's the only guy that's 100% healthy. And so we just got to play it by ear, okay? But for right now, McKinnon and Eckler are locked in for me, unless we hear otherwise on Eckler.
Yes. So it's pretty. That's the same thing I was thinking. I think it's a point flip between Stevenson and Walker.
Yeah, and I think it'll come down to, we'll be looking at the matchups. We'll be looking at the health. There'll be a lot of stuff we need to take in before we can really lock anything in. But like initially, let's pull up the schedule and just take a peek at Week 16 and so you got Seattle at KC.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that could be a great game for Walker, or it could be a game script thing. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Bengals Patriots. I assume that's going to be a close game. As much as I hate sitting Kenneth Walker, but Stevenson is such a monster. We got to see. I don't think any bad things are going to come of this. This disaster of an ending. There are a lot of people DMing me saying, Smitty, is Stevenson going to get benched because of that lateral and creating that that string of events that occurred that led to the loss? I don't think anything negative is going to come of that, because he's not the one that threw the horrible pass straight to the defender to take it into the end zone to lose the game on a dumb toss where there was nothing but defensive players standing around. I don't think that's going to be the case. Stevenson didn't make the bad throw. Stevenson did trigger the events, but he didn't make that bad throw. So I'm not worried about Stevenson, but let's play this by ear. I'm going to say for now Stevenson would be the lean, and that's hard to say because you know how much I love Walker. But
I know. See, I'm in a 2 flex league, but I have JJ as my receiver, St. Brown, and Keenan Allen. I'm not sitting them guys at all.
Yeah.
So using 3 receivers and 3 running backs, and that's why I was like, I don't know. I got 4 running backs, 4 real good running backs. And this will be the semifinals are coming up my bye week.
Yeah. Let's play it by ear, bro. Okay. Call back. Let's talk about this throughout the week. Appreciate you.
Right,
what's your name, man?
No problem.
What's your name?
Charles.
Charles again. That's right. I'm sorry. Charles, thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. Calling anytime, man.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Charles says rich person problems. That's for sure. Nice set of running backs there, Charles.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I've just about completely lost. Nick, try again. I ended up hitting the wrong button, Nick. I've completely almost lost my voice. It's about shot at this point. Trying to get over this darn flu.
What's going on, Smith? Malik.
What's up, Malik? What can I do for you, Malik?
So I skated into the playoffs without Lamar. I'm hoping he comes back this week. Kirk Cousins dropped some fire for me. And I got a running back problem too. Hoping you can solve it. I got J.K.
I can barely hear you, bro. You're really muffled. I don't know if you're talking with it in your shoulder or if I'm on speaker or what, but barely hear you.
What about now?
A little bit better.
This better?
A little bit, but go ahead.
All right, I got J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
ETN, and Najee Harris.
How many can you start?
I can start 3 of them.
I think for me, it's the top 3. I think they've earned the start. I mean, Najee, looked good at times, so I'm definitely not like super, I guess, turned off by the idea of starting Najee if you had to in a league. So I'm not trying to clown on Najee or anything, but I would definitely say that J.K. earned the start for this week 16. Walker, as long as he's unscathed and he's healthy enough. ETN toppled 100 yards. Really could have had a touchdown or 2. Wasn't really his fault, but it is what it is, Like the plays he gets drawn up are the plays he gets drawn up for him, and it's been consistent of how he's been getting hit in the backfield. They're still giving him goal line work. I don't know that they'll take that away from him. You never know. He hasn't been effective in the goal line, but I don't think it's been his fault. He's getting corralled behind or at the line of scrimmage. So my interpretation is that they're just bad play calls. It's not anything to do with ETN. He's ripping off big, long yard, nice yards per carry in this contest. So he's ripping off nice runs. It's not about him not being able to get any wiggle or room. So I would say if I'm you, I'd go with the top three. But of course, let's take this into the week and reassess as the week goes on with injuries and such. Because Walker's still potentially hampered, but we'll find out if he's good to go. I imagine he'll be good.
All right, and one more question for you. I got Jerron Johnson, Dalton Schultz, and Cole Kmet. So I'll just bench Schultz and start Johnson?
I mean, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Logic says that
For big money,
Logic says to keep going with the guy that keeps delivering, right? So I'll probably roll hot hand because it's not like. I mean, I like Schultz a lot, but yeah, I don't know. Let's take that one into the later in the week too. But for now, yeah.
All right, sure. Thanks, Lee.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Okay, I got Nick on hold. Nick, hang tight for me. I got two callers. Let's see here. Let's go with I don't know. What are your names? Two other callers.
It's the Ricky Red.
All right, let's start with you. And then the other unknown caller that's not named Nick, you go next, okay? So let's start with you, bro. Go ahead. Are you ready?
So, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm at work. So I'm in some trouble, man. I got Justin Fields, JT, Miles Sanders, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Taysom Hill, Diggs, Tilly, and then Butler. It was just a bad week.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking. And on my bench, I had Pittman, Walker, Tucker, Jay Tucker, the kicker, Baltimore, T. Higgins, Travis Homer, Jared Goff.
Let's start with the question because you just spat off all the team. I didn't get to write it down in time. That was way too fast, bro. What's the question? And then we'll go from there.
Oh, you good, bro? I need some rebuilding kits here because JT, I don't know how long JT's gonna be out. And I've been Walker in there, but Walker's injury. And it's the first week of the playoffs for me, and I had the worst week of my life. I have 87.4 points this week. And the guy I'm playing gets 120. And he's got someone to play tonight.
Bro, you're cutting in and out. I can barely hear what you're trying. So what's the question?
Help with the rebuild for playoffs.
Rebuild for the playoffs?
For playoffs.
What do you mean rebuild for the playoffs?
Like new running back, like just something to give me more points because of JT's injury. I don't really have anybody I can really put in besides Walker, but you know how Walker's injury is.
Well, Walker's
like an idea.
Walker's fine, but I don't know what you mean rebuild. Can you trade in your league still?
You can't trade. There's kind of an easy way I'm doing it. There's a guy going to drop a running back. I'm going to try to pick up in the waivers, but.
Okay, so let's simplify this because I don't know where we're going with this. Who are the top pickups? And let me know what they are, and I'll tell you who you should grab. But I don't understand what's going on here. Rebuild and the playoff, like what is this a dynasty league? The terminology you're using is as if you're in a dynasty league, bro. You can't rebuild in the middle of the playoffs. But go ahead, hit me with what you got. Let's see if we can add a guy.
Foreman, Dylan, maybe Ellinger.
Ellinger?
Yeah.
Algier?
Running back.
Algier? Okay.
Yeah.
Algier, gotcha. Okay.
That's really about it.
I mean, I don't know if you're rebuilding, bro, with this, but I'd say pick up Dylan. We'll see what Dylan does in this contest here. Dylan's definitely got a potential to be a nice little savior for you potentially, or he might not. We don't know. Foreman, not really interested. Algier, I like Algier a lot. I'd probably pick up Algier if he's available. Algier might be a little bit more attractive than Dylan, given he had just a monster day. So I definitely would pick him up. But call back if you got something specific we can do. But I would pick up Algier, yes.
I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, man. That. Yeah, and maybe when you call back, your reception will be better too. All right, call back. All right, later. All right, next unknown caller, and then Nick, you're next after that.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi. So I just have a question.
Okay. Are you rebuilding too?
I am.
Are you rebuilding in the playoffs? Okay.
I'm up 19, and he has Aaron Rodgers. What do you think?
What's your scoring, bro?
Just normal.
Is it 4 points per TD pass?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's gonna be close, bro. It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
The guy says alligator. It's so funny the way people and look, I struggle with some names too. It's not like I'm not clowning on somebody that can't say someone's name. Like Okonkwo is hard to say for a while, and some people say I'm still even saying it wrong. Okonkwo, but like alligator, I think everyone's Tyler Algier, the alligator. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. What else you got? What other question you got? I didn't mean
not yours. Oh wait.
I mean, I don't know. 19. Here, let me tap into my. No, you win. You win. I can predict a win here. You win, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I mean, 19 points.
Yeah.
Bro, he could throw 2 touchdowns. There's 8. He could throw 200 yards depending on your scoring there. That could be. I mean, yeah, you're looking at a really close 19 points. He's got to crap the bed. It's got to be low scoring. It's got to be rushing touchdowns. Otherwise, you might lose that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then if I do make it for next week, would you go Kenneth Walker or Isaiah Pacheco?
I mean Walker, bro. Walker. Yeah, Pacheco. Pacheco's too one-dimensional, and McKinnon's electric. He is a playmaker. He's a weapon, and McKinnon's getting running work. He wasn't really getting running work the weeks prior. Now he's getting it was like 10 or 11 carries or something like that. Pacheco's job is similar to what CEH's job was weeks and weeks ago. It was like on the verge of being handed off to the next guy. And we don't know if McKinnon's going to be interesting. If he balls out throughout the playoffs, I mean, what happens to his 2023 value? And we've seen this happen before. Damian Williams was always really good in the playoffs, and then he got drafted, and then he was a total bust. Who knows what McKinnon's value looks like walking into 2023? But the rest of the season, in the postseason, he looks great. But Pacheco's shaky, bro, real shaky.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Put Kenny in there. All right, man, appreciate you. And hey, in that previous caller, with the Algier, thanks, pal, appreciate you. That previous caller with the Algier question, you can call back, bro. Your connection was a little choppy. A couple of people said you were at work. So I know you were dealing with that. So I want you to feel welcomed here. I didn't mean to like rush you off or. I just didn't understand the question, and I'm sorry, bro. I'm also sick, so I got a little bit of a short attention span. So that previous caller, my apologies. You're welcome here, bro. It's my bad. I'll take a lap for the way that I handled that call. But I would like you to call back, and I want you to feel welcomed here. So I apologize if that was a bad approach there. Nick, you're up. I'm sorry for my I don't know, lack of energy or whatever I've got going on here.
Go on, Smitty.
What can I do for you, Nick?
All right.
So I'm up 20.3 non-PPR going against Aaron Jones. What's your professional opinion of my odds?
Non-PPR, I think you got it. I'd rather be you in non-PPR. But
Right.
would I be worried still? Sure, And would it be fun to me though?
Yeah,
it'd be fun to me. I'd rather have the player and be down. That's a little more fun. But being up and have no control, like you don't have control anyway, but to not have your player having control, it's a little bit different of an experience. But I mean, that's a lot of points in non-PPR. Yeah. That's a lot of points in non-PPR. The weather.
I figured you need 2 touchdowns. For that,
Yeah, and he could. I mean, they could run the ball a lot. The weather could be a factor to where they run the heck out of it. But guess what? Dylan's getting more work. So if Dylan were out for the game or something, I'd be a lot more worried. But because that non-PPR volume is divided right now, I think you're in a better spot than the other guy.
Cool. I think so too, but Aaron Jones is feast or famine, so he could do it, and it does make it fun. Like you always say, this is like what we play for.
Yeah,
high stakes, exciting things. So.
Yeah, people need to stop this whole panic thing. Like anxiety. Like if I could ask 10 callers right now, if I could take 10 random phone calls right now of people watching, 8 of them would rather be up by 100 points than to be in a close race. And I understand that,
no.
but like that's not why you played. That's not why when someone said, "Hey, you want to do this thing called fantasy football," and they explained it to you, and you're like, "Yeah, it sounds funny." Your first year, you lost, but you were excited. That you got into it for the adrenaline rush and all that. Like who wants to be up 100 points? I mean, it's nice because of the money, right? But enjoy it. Whenever you have a close race and enjoy it because it's why you play.
Yeah, and me and my buddies are talking. It's like it's our matchup's hilarious and just been back and forth, so it's good either way. But I'm hoping people get burrowed and people remember it.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
All right, Smitty boy, thank you.
All right, Nick, call in anytime, man.
See you guys later. All right.
Yeah,
thank you.
I really want that other caller to call in, the alligator. I really want the alligator guy to call in again. Because I felt like I need to give him a second chance. So if he's watching right now and he's like, this Smitty treated me like I want you to come back, bro. Call back again. I wanna invite you back on the show, bro. And do it right. Your connection was bad too. So let's redo this. I know you're at work, so no pressure. Jimmy, 44. I don't know why we call you Jimmy 44. Why do we call you Jimmy 44? Oh, because you called 44 times in a row once, didn't you?
Yeah, I finally got in, man.
Relentless Jimmy, bro. What's up, man?
All right, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
This is what's going on, man. And I want you to be honest with me here. I want you to be honest with me.
Okay.
I'm a little bit of a pickle.
Uh-huh.
I am. So I am up right now by 8.7 points. And he has Christian Watson playing playoff time, obviously. Is there any hope? That Christian Watson does not score 8.8 points?
This is becoming a therapy session, basically, this show. This is a Smitty.
That's what it is right now.
I wish I could give you a big sense of hope, but I would say I would rather be on the other side. But have we seen... look, what did Devontae Adams do this week? What did he score? It was about 8 points, wasn't it? He had a horrible day. What do you have, 4 for 40?
6.8 points.
He scored 6.8? There you go.
Oh, Jimmy. I called you Jimmy. Smitty.
Yeah, it's Smitty.
You're kind of making me feel a little bit better about this.
Bro,
I'm not feeling too good, but
it's possible, right? I mean, he's not Devontae Adams. So, weather... What's that weather looking like? Have you looked it up lately? Can we get
I did it. I have.
Yeah, post a couple weather reports. I like to get it from a bunch of people because they're always a little different. You can average them out. But what's the weather looking like? Jimmy, you're calling me Jimmy. You're Jimmy. Why are you calling me Jimmy? Yeah, hey Jimmy. I mean, God, Jimmy two times. Jimmy 44, bro. I don't know. We might need to make up a new name for you. Calling me your name, bro. What are we doing? It's like when you met a. Oh man.
I'm sorry about that, brother. But it looks like it's it looks like it's gonna be 22 degrees.
What's the wind looking like? Smitty?
The wind.
What's the wind looking like, bro? Is there wind? Is there snow? Like, is it sleet?
Six I almost said degrees, 6 miles an hour.
Okay.
Is that pretty high or?
No, I mean,
I'm not a wind expert.
That's about as, I can run that in my studio, like just fast walking.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, but hey, bro, you're still got a shot, but I would say I'd definitely rather be on the other side of the fence. But man, anything can happen, man. Weather, all that stuff. Well, I mean, think about this. Think about this. What did JT do? Went out, got injured right away. I don't want injury on Christian Watson. I love Christian Watson, and I hate to put your earmuffs on, Jimmy. Real quickly, I hope Watson has a day. I'm so sorry, Jimmy. If you watch the replay of this and you take your earmuffs off earlier or something, I hope Watson has a day. But you never know, bro. You never know. So just enjoy it, all right?
Oh, I can't have the Smitty powers against me, man.
Well, bro,
is there a league? You're in a million leagues, man. There isn't a league where you're versing him or something?
I love Christian Watson. All right, man.
All right, Smitty. Jimmy. Have a good one, brother.
Later, pal.
Yep.
Dude calls me by his name. I'm over the big part of the flu, but now it's like the end of it, the congestion, oh my God. Totally lost my voice. On antibiotics. Chris Smith with the super chat. We got another super chat in here that I missed, I think. I'm sorry. Let me get to these super chats real quick, and then I'll answer any of the other phone calls coming in. Pro2 says, should I play Waddle? Opponent has Tua Hill stack. Don't worry about your opponent at all, bro. Don't consider your opponent when you're playing a player. Play your best player every single time, Pro2. Put Waddle on the field. What did Waddle just do for you, bro? You really considering sitting Waddle after he had a day? You know what I mean? Don't worry about your opponent. That's how you play for second place. Your opponent has your team's going to score X number of points. Each player will score X number of points. Starting the right combination of high-scoring players will score you the most amount of points. It has nothing to do with what your opponent has. And I know you want to counterbalance some things, but that's not the way to go about it. Down 31, says Chris. Chris, with Rodgers and Christian Watson left in PPR, 6 points per TD pass is a good thing for you, my guy. I say you get it, Chris. I would rather be Chris than the other guy. I'd rather be down 31 with Rodgers and Watson than to be facing that, if that makes you feel better. But is it like by a landslide? No. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty. Jason here.
Jason, what's up, my guy?
Not much. I hope you're feeling somewhat all right over there.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm feeling, bro. I'm not feeling great. I'll be honest with you. I could lie to you and say I'm great. My voice is almost shot. I got like 2 octaves, bro. It's like
man.
You see, hear all those octaves that are gone, bro? I got like 1 octave, and then I treated a caller kind of not badly, but like I had little patience for him. I brushed him off. I'm hoping he'll call in again. The alligator guy. I felt like I didn't give him the time of day, and it's like I feel bad about that. I'm not feeling great in general, but what can I do I'm sorry, what was your name? I can't even remember anything, bro. What's your name?
That's all right. Jason.
Jason. Okay. Jason, I'm sorry. I got you in the system here. Go ahead. Jason, what can I do for you?
So, 10-team full PPR, and I got the bye here. So going into next week, kind of in a situation with some running backs, since I have 4 or 5 solid guys here, and I'm thinking about who to start because my opponent next week, I'm a little nervous about it.
Okay, what do you
So I
got?
guess I'll. No, go ahead.
But tell me your players, and we'll dig through it.
Yeah. So my quarterback is Jalen Hurts. My wide receivers are Justin Jefferson and Mike Evans. And my running backs are Pollard, Pacheco, Swift, ETN, and Walker. And my tight ends are Mark Andrews, Cole Kmet, and Evan Ingram. I know Andrews hasn't been doing that great, so I figured if I picked up, some others to see how, see which one comes out better, I might swap out Andrews for one of them, depending how.
Yeah,
it goes,
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, Kmet's decent. What did Kmet finish with this week?
I think he got 6.5 points. He got like 4 catches, like 25 yards.
So like, neither one did none of your 3 tight ends did amazing, right? So
no,
what
I was on the bye, so that didn't really.
I know this is gonna
affect anything. It's for. Yeah.
I know most people are gonna go against this, bro, and Andrews has been awful, but with your alternatives, you might as well put him out there one more time, especially if Lamar does come back this week. We'll find out. If Lamar comes back this week, he's going to lean on him. He's their main weapon. I know he's been awful, but you were going to be sick to your stomach if you sit Andrews and he finally has his 3 TD game. He screwed you all year, and he's going to screw you one more time on your bench while he does well. You're going to be sick to your stomach. If your options were different, then I would say roll with him. But I would put Andrews in over a waiver wire guy and over those 2 guys that are also going to be like – Andrews didn't do any worse than those guys, essentially. So, like, you can't really go, oh, I'm going with the guy that did just as bad as Andrews. So, I would go Andrews. As far as your running backs, Pollard is still a lock for me. ETN at 100.
Running back and a flex.
Yeah, ETN is a lock for me. And between Pacheco and Swift and Walker, I'm going Walker. So, for now, Pollard, ETN, and Walker are locks for me. And I don't find it that big of a problem. Doesn't mean Swift can't have that day we've been hoping he'd have. Doesn't mean that Walker news about his ankle bothering him or something isn't going to make me change my mind. But he came out of that game looking like he was unaffected or no setbacks. So I'd probably say roll with those running backs that kind of got you here versus the 2 guys. Pacheco's role seems to be going in the wrong direction because McKinnon looks so good and is getting more rushes. And he's one-dimensional. And Swift is just, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. It's not that he's not playing well. They just don't give him the ball. And so, as much as I'd hate to have him have that big game on your bench, and every year a player like him goes off in the final 2 weeks. The final 2 weeks of the season, and then you're like, and you don't know what to make of it all walking into the next year. Swift could easily be that guy, but so could Walker. So Walker for me.
All right, I'll definitely do that then because my opponent has Diggs and Henry and Mahomes next week, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Bring
Two of them have great matchups.
Bring the question again though, the running back question later in the week though. We'll hit it again.
No, not a problem. And I had one more quick question. This one was the easy one. I'm up by 21.44 in another league in the quarterfinals there. And my opponent has the Packers defense and A.J. Dillon. I'm hoping I'm holding off. Just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Packers defense and A.J. Dillon, and how much are you up?
21.44.
I mean, it could be close, but, I mean, I'd probably rather be you.
Yeah, because A.J. Dillon had 2 great weeks the last, and I'm hoping it's an Aaron Jones game.
I'd probably rather be you, but very, very, close.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
But I really appreciate it, and feel better.
Yeah, call anytime, Jason. Later.
All right, take care.
I guess that guy at work, the alligator guy, is not calling back. Another day. Call back again sometime, buddy. I'll make it right. All All right, guys, I'm out of here for now. I'll see you at the 7 p.m. show. Appreciate you being here with this breaking news. It's a shame. Done for the season, most likely, according to Ian Rappaport. Deion Jackson, probably the top pickup for this situation, but not the top pickup of the week. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Depends on your waiver wire. But then you also got to grab Zach Moss. Because a lot of teams are not in the running anymore, please punch that thumb up button. I got 136 people still in here and only 44 thumbs up. Can we please punch that number and match those two numbers? Your boy Smitty is out here sick. And I'm still out here doing it. Voice is shot. I got 1 octave. All those octaves are gone. I'm out here with 1 octave. And I've got 44 thumbs up. Please punch it. It takes you 1 second to do it. Half a second, millisecond to do it. As I was saying, because so many people are not in the race anymore, picking up both Moss and Deion, if you needed it, if you're desperate, might not be as hard as you think to get both of those claims to go through, because the Moss claim's not going to be a high priority for people. The Deion Jackson probably more so. And you can put both claims in, you probably get both of them. Waddle or McKinnon. Oh my God, Avi. I feel like there's someone else you could put on your bench, Avi. We need to attack this later in the week, but that is certainly, if that is actually your dilemma, I don't know what we're going to come to a conclusion on with that one. McKinnon's fire, bro. He's fire, and he's such a utilized weapon. He's a weapon. And they love him. They love him, bro. I would slightly lean McKinnon. Slightly. Offense is better. He's matchup proof because he runs and he catches now like 10 totes. But let's see if we can find a different guy, bro. Please smash the thumb up button on your way out the door. DJ Meat Missiles up by 10 with Watson left to play. He has Rodgers playing. Do you think you can get the W? That is possible because, you know, Rodgers is going to score 4 points per one touch, per touchdown, whereas Watson is going to get 6. So essentially 12 points versus 8. So like if he threw 2 TDs to him, what you need to hope for is a rushing touchdown by Watson. DJ Meat Missile wins his game with a rushing tutty. So give Watson a rushing tutty. How about that? To the moon, Watson. Take your rushing tutty to the moon. I'll see you all at 7 p.m. if my voice even works at that point. All right, punch the thumb up button, please, on your way out the door. I'll see you later. Thanks, Avi, for the super chat. Thanks, Chris, for the super chat. Thank you, Pro2, for your super chat as well. Appreciate you all. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.